Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Wisconsin.
Nice looking Sunday afternoon. Great day for a ball game at Miller Park as the Pirates and Brewers wrap up this 4-game series. Crew trying to get one. Pirates have looked awfully tough these first 3 nights. Chase Anderson, Ivan Nova, your pitching matchup here this afternoon. And good afternoon from Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Matt LePay. Sophia Minert is our reporter tonight. Well, Rock, would start today's broadcast by talking about Chris Carter. We knew about the power, and he has delivered as advertised, but he has a nice on-base streak going that might surprise some people when they hear about it.
Yeah, it all starts with seeing the baseball. And right now, Chris Carter is dialed in. He's locked in. He's seeing it very well, and he's got 20 games straight where he's reached base safely. And in that stretch since August 8th, you see what he's been able to do. The batting average very good. He's raised his batting average in that time 10 points, and that's pretty good given, you know, this late in the season. You know, 15 of those 20 on bases are base hits. So he's swinging the bat, he's taking walks, and involved in a lot of the Brewers offense so far.
All right, Brewers trying to cool off this Pittsburgh Pirates team that's won 7 straight on the road. Chase Anderson, he has a home ritual to tribute his late father. He will walk us through that routine as we continue Brewers and Bucks on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time.
What a beauty of a Sunday afternoon for baseball here in Milwaukee. The Brewers trying to get the finale against the Pirates. Great to see the kids and the families here on this Sunday. And kids and families, kind of what we're talking about right now with Chase Anderson on the mound for Milwaukee. He has a game day ritual like maybe no other in baseball. Telly Hughes has more.
With Chase Anderson, who is going to go over his pregame rituals on the day that he starts. And every time Chase takes the mound, it's very special to him, all the way down to what he wears to the ballpark. Tell us a little bit about your home starts and what you wear and why you do so.
Yeah, I wear my dad's salmon pink polo shirt, washed out Wrangler jeans he wore a lot. They're probably pretty old, but it's still in good shape because I wear them once every 5 days. His belt with the belt buckle with A on it for Anderson, and then his ostrich skin Tony Lama boots that are about 14 years old. My dad passed away of a heart attack in 2012. It's just kind of something, he sacrificed so much for me in this game and did everything he could so I could play baseball. So I just thought, I want to make a little tribute to my father. I just started wearing his stuff on the day I pitched, and it's just the way I kind of tribute to him.
And you also honor your grandmother as well as your grandfather and your dad. And take us through what you do before you throw your very first pitch.
Right. I stand back here. I say a little prayer real quick. Then I go to the mound, and then I write A, F, H, A for Annette Frances Harris Anderson, my dad's mother. Then I write my dad's initials, R, D, A for Robert Dale Anderson. Then I do TW for Tony Wood, my mom's mother. So they all passed away since I've been in professional baseball, and all had integral parts in my career, and allowing me to play this game and pushing me hard and just being there to support me through the ups and downs of life, and mainly baseball. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for those three people. So they mean a lot to me.
Great stuff from Chase Anderson. Let's hope the ritual works today. His 25th start of the season is next against the Pirates. Enjoy it.
Hotel and casinos. Spend the night with luxury. Roof is open today. A beautiful day. Low 70s, maybe upper 70s by the time we're done, but a great afternoon for baseball here in Milwaukee as the Brewers and Pirates close out this 4-game series. And Clint Hurdle's team has played very well, winning the first 3. They've never swept the Brewers in a 4-game series. Brewers trying to keep that from happening today. Let's check out the Pirates batting order presented by Potawatomi. Josh Harrison at the top of the order, followed by John Jaso and Andrew McCutchen, who's had a good series and a good month of August. Gregory Polanco hitting cleanup at a big 3-run double last night. Starling Marte and David Freese. And then 7, 8, 9, Francisco Cervelli, Jordy Mercer, and Ivan Nova rounding out the order. against the Brewers starter Chase Anderson.
Yeah, 25th start for Chase. He made one appearance out of the bullpen after getting hit in the knee in a game at Chicago. No decision last time out against the Rockies. 3 runs, 5 innings in the Brewers 6-4 victory.
And first pitch swinging, Harrison fouls it down the line, and we are underway at Miller Park. The Brewers need some good strong innings out of Chase Anderson. Has beaten the Pirates already this season. Pittsburgh club that comes into this game having won 7 straight on the road. And there's a curveball grounded to short. Nice backhand stop by Arcia, and there is the first out of the day.
Arcia making some nice plays out there in shortstop in this series. As you look at the Menards Brewers defense, no Ryan Braun today. Domingo Santana making a start out in left. Neuenhuis, Perez, the rest of the outfield. VR, Arcia, Jeanette, and Carter from third to first. And Manny Pena making a start behind home plate, hanging the signs for Chase Anderson.
And Santana out there in left for Ryan Braun. This is Domingo's first starting assignment in left as a Brewer. Had a handful in his time in the Astros organization. John Jaso steps in. Pinch hitting role last night and delivered. Pirates pinch hitters they've been effective throughout the course of the season. Jaso a part of that. He's hit cleanup most of he's hit at the top of the order most of the time this season, but in the 2-hole here today, they like what they've been getting from Harrison at the top. Jaso's batting average or on base percentage has been good, 348, but for a first baseman, the power numbers, the run production, not what they would particularly like. 4 homers, 30 RBIs.
Yeah, you'd expect a little bit more, pop in the bat and run production in your corner fielders, third, first, left, and right, and just wasn't getting that type of production was Clint Hurdle. So it's been Josh Bell most of the time out at first base.
Pitch is lifted into center field. Lots of room for Kirk Neuenhuis. And there are 2 up, 2 down in the first. Good start here for Anderson as he has retired the first 2 Pirates he has faced. And a few minutes ago, Chase walked Telly Hughes through his pregame routine as Anderson honoring his grandparents with their initials on the mound. Honors his late father as well. These guys are all big league athletes and make a lot of money at what they do, but he's gone through a lot, losing 3 near and dear family members since he has been in pro ball. And this is his way of honoring them and thanking them for the help that they have given him through the years.
Man, guys should never forget all the people that sacrificed to get to where they are right now. Most don't, but Chase Anderson, I guess, takes it a step further. Good for him.
Andrew McCutchen. Well, the much talked about story with him is, will he bust loose here late in the season? He's had a very good series, and in the month of August he is hitting .313, so showing signs that he may be on his way to coming back to that MVP and annual All-Star form that has marked his career, and the face makes him these days and for a while now the face of this Pirates franchise.
A good pitch by Chase Anderson. Dan Iasonia behind home plate, considered to be one of the better ball and strike umpires in the league. That one just a little bit off the corner.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Andrew McCutchen. Count runs full on the center fielder for the Pirates.
Awfully tough to take these pitches, but why not? What are you going to do with that anyway? That one almost on the corner, but a little bit off.
Payoff pitch coming. That is hit in the air to left field, left center field. It'll be Domingo Santana giving way to Kirk Neuenhuis, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Chase Anderson. Nice start. Pirates do not score. Brewers coming up. 2-3 to begin the game this afternoon. Fourth and final game of the series. Craig Counsell trying to lead his team to a win and avoid being swept. Brewers still 4 games above 500 in the home park. Let's check out the Milwaukee batting order presented by Potawatomi. Jonathan VR will lead things off, followed by Scooter Gennett and Hernan Perez. Big 2 home run night for Perez last night. Chris Carter hitting cleanup, followed by Kirk Neuenhuis and Domingo Santana. Order rounds out with Orlando Arcia, Manny Pena, and Chase Anderson against one of the newer members of this Pirates squad, Ivan Nova.
Yeah, Pirates got him from the Yankees on August 1st for a couple of players to be named later. You can see his numbers with the Yankees. Yeah, 15 starts, 21 games, and 3-0. Off to a really good start with the Pirates. 3-0 at .320 earned run average. Coming off a complete game victory against the Astros.
And he starts VR with a strike. Yeah, it was the 4th complete game in the career of Ivan Nova. And he has been very good in his brief time so far with the Pirates. It's part of the moves that the Yankees made going into that non-waiver trade deadline. As they were in more sell-off mode, but they're still in the thick of the chase for a playoff spot. There's a bouncing ball. Harrison, tough play, and makes it look easy for out number 1.
Now the Pirates have been very good all season long in the top 5 in defense. You got Marte, McCutchen, and Polanco very athletic out there in the outfield. David Freese, Jordy Mercer. You got Josh Harrison and Jaso at first base, and Francisco Cervelli, who had yesterday off, back behind home plate.
Very good in his role. This is his 2nd year with the Pirates. Francisco Cervelli. Excellent year last year when Russell Martin moved on. Filled that hole and filled it very well for the Pirates. Pittsburgh winning last night 9-6. The Brewers getting 3 home runs, 2 from Hernan Perez and 1 from Tyler Cravey. The Pirates did not go deep, but there's still some big innings, and the big blow in the game coming from Gregory Polanco, a pinch hit 3-run double, and that was the separation. And he did that in a pinch hit role, but back in there in the lineup in right field this afternoon for Clint Hurdle's team. 1-1 pitch to Scooter Gennett is popped up, and Josh Harrison will wait for it. 2 men out. Here comes Hernan Perez. Talked a lot about the number of things he does well, and that includes hitting home runs.
First inning home run giving the Brewers a lead. A home run is next time up. The Brewers actually had a 5-1 lead in that game early. Not able to hold it. Their first multi-home run game for Hernan Perez. Good combination of power and speed he's shown this year.
Powerball home run count there as mentioned. The 2 bombs that Perez hit. 13 home runs on the year. The most he had hit in pro ball prior to this season was 8. That was a few years ago in A ball.
It's always good to have your best years in the major leagues.
Kind of pays off, doesn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to get those too early.
No.
You don't want them in rookie ball or A ball.
Save it. There's a line drive down the left field line, and that's a base hit. It got by David Freese, and Perez turns first. He will coast into second with a 2-out double.
They got a fastball in. They've been pitching him in quite a bit as of late. Early on in the year, they were pitching him away. All of his base hits, or a large portion of them, to right field. Making adjustments, that's what it's all about. They're starting to pitch him in, and he's starting to pull it.
Two outs, and runner at second is Hernan Perez. Here's Chris Carter. He has reached safely in 20 straight games. Let's check in with Sophia Minnaerts.
Well, guys, you may notice there's some new headwear for both Orlando Arcia and Keon Broxton here in front of me. I asked Arcia where these hats came from, and he motioned towards the stands that maybe it was a fan that gave it to him. So why not? You know, a little fun on a Sunday.
Thank you much. It's a good look. 0-1 to Chris Carter. Swung on, that's hit well. Center field, McCutchen on the run, and at the track, he will run it down. And Carter got into it, but not quite enough as the Brewers strand a runner, and we are through one at Miller Park.
Orlando Arcia and Domingo Santana with the furry hats, and back here at Miller Park, no score as we go to the second. And at the start of the game, we told you about Chase Anderson's pregame routine for his home starts, and things have been going well on the mound for Anderson lately. Over his last 6, he's gone 3-0, but an earned run average of 3. And the one main issue with Anderson lately has been just the inability to go deep into games. He's gone 6 innings or more just 5 times on the season, and Craig Counsell saying that's probably just a function of his style of pitching, that he has to pitch around the edges. It's something that he has to do in terms of how he navigates a lineup. So he said we don't typically see a lot of quick innings with Anderson, looking that maybe he can build off that over the final month.
All right, thanks, Sophia. He got through a quick first inning, putting down the Pirates in order. He'll begin the second with the cleanup hitter, Gregory Polanco.
Yeah, getting pitches on the corners, and when he's at his best, he's establishing inside, just like he did there to Polanco. He's got to be on the corners, down in the zone, and the big key for him, his ability to throw that changeup over the plate, but keep it down to get some swings. There's a good changeup right there.
As Polanco way out in front to even the count.
There are times when he throws a changeup, but it's too far down in the dirt or maybe off the plate. Guys aren't going to swing. When you get it there on the corners or down around the knees, that's when he's at his best.
And to back up Sophia's points about Anderson not going deep, the last time he went 6 was on August 5th. That was against his former team, the Diamondbacks. Gave up a couple of runs. 2-2 pitch to Polanco, and that is hit well into right center field, and that will be caught by Hernan Perez up against the wall. He plays everywhere and runs down that drive from Polanco for the first out of the inning.
Yep, just a little bit off the end of the bat. It was a changeup again, so he's trying to establish that pitch. And a little bit out in front. You see the grip. Down in the zone, a little bit off the end, out in front of it for Polanco. Had he stayed back a little bit, might have been a different result, but stays in the ballpark, and a nice play by Hernan Perez, who's getting more comfortable every day in the outfield.
One says thank you, and the other says, come on, man.
Polanco said, I thought this was a hitter's park.
There's Marte trying to lay one down. Anderson, nope. Looks like he started to go pick it up and then pulled back, and that will be a bunch single for Starling Marte. First hit for Pittsburgh.
Gave way to Pena, but neither one of them had a play with the way Starling Marte can get down that line. And once this ball drops, it isn't caught in the air. It's going to be an awfully difficult play for both of them. Neither one of them actually touch it. I guess the best option there, avoid injury. Get out of the way. That would have been a base hit regardless.
Pena behind the plate this afternoon. Chase Anderson had a scare in the 16th of August. Wasn't a collision with the catcher, but a line drive that got him in the leg. Marte, who has stolen 43 bases, is trying for 44, and he gets there.
Yeah, first pitch, not messing around, and throw a little bit on the first base side of the bag, but still a pretty good throw. I think the Brewers want to take a look at it to see whether Jeanette got him on the leg before the hand got in. This will be a good look at it right here. Looks like he's in there. Well, we'll see. Be early to lose your challenge today in the second inning. You don't think you want to challenge that. Too close.
Last night's game ended on a replay review. Ryan Braun narrowly missing out on being able to leg out an infield single. A little chopper that Jordy Mercer made a nice play on and got Braun by a matter of an inch or two, and it ended the game. Had that call been overturned, the Brewers would have brought the winning run to the plate.
Yeah. Hernan Perez coming up. Well, the quick trip to the mound is because Manny Pena got crossed up. He wasn't expecting a curveball. You can always tell by the way he catches it. He stands up thinking he might be getting a fastball, but then went right back down to catch it.
A ball, a strike to David Freese. Back in the lineup this afternoon for the Pirates. Freese is having himself a nice year with Pittsburgh. You see the average, his on base percentage at .351. He signed a one-year deal, but now the Pirates and Freese, they have agreed to an extension. He'll be around for the next couple, and then a club option for 2019. So he's been very good coming back into the National League. A ball, two strikes. Popped up, and this will stay in play for Chris Carter for out number 2.
Yeah, and that's where you have to pitch David Freese. You want to try to crowd him with a fastball in because he loves to get those arms extended and drive the ball in the right field. Perfect pitch by Anderson. Let's check it out. Maybe even a little bit off the plate. Freese chases it, but you know that's where you got to pitch him right there. So you're not able to get the barrel of the bat out, and an easy out and foul ground for Chris Carter. That big swing, but jammed himself.
So 2 outs. Starling Marte, the runner at second, as Francisco Cervelli settles in. He's swinging a pretty good bat. .324, as a matter of fact, his average over the last 11 games. He has to go down and block that delivery from Anderson.
Yeah, tough out in these spots. I mean, not a big power threat, but you know, when you're looking for contact, a base hit, you know, he's a guy that can give you some problems.
He's had to miss some time this year because of injuries. Last year, that is most productive year in many areas, including playing time. He's had injury troubles in his career, but Ben Herta was able to get him in the lineup on a regular basis last season. It was a big concern after Russell Martin moved on. Would they be able to find an everyday catcher? And the answer for Herta has been yes.
Yeah, which is what a catcher's main job is, particularly when you have a rotation that has been so inconsistent. Different guys have not really performed all that well. But the Pirates are still in the thick of it.
Just a game and a half out going into today's play. Here's a throw down to second. As Pena keeping an eye on Marte. Yeah, the Pirates got some help in addition to helping themselves with a win here last night. A lot of traffic for those wild card spots, but some teams losing games, including the Cardinals and the Marlins. So through it all, in what's been an up and down year, the Pirates just a game and a half out as we near the end of August. 2 balls, 1 strike to Francisco Cervelli. Breaking ball missed in the dirt. And there you see the crowded house there with the Giants and Cardinals, the wild card teams at the moment. And the Mets still just 2.5 out. And they've certainly had their problems, particularly on offense. They just have not been able to score runs. Their runners in scoring position statistic just a shade better than 200. They've had injuries to that highly regarded starting rotation. Cervelli with a liner, but foul. And with the 2 wild card spots, you just hang in there, and then you get hot at the right time, and you can have yourself a party in October.
Yeah, the Giants, I mean, the San Francisco Giants, I mean, they looked like they were going to win that West, but they kind of fell on hard times, still looking at a playoff spot. But they're thinking they have to start getting things together.
Yeah, post All-Star break, they have really struggled. Full count to Cervelli. Gregory Polanco began the inning with a warning track fly ball to right. Marte a bunt single, stole second. David Freese a foul pop. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the Pirates catcher Francisco Cervelli. That is hit in the air to right field. Hernan Perez. Couple of chances here in the inning. And that'll do it for the Pirates in the second. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Still scoreless in Milwaukee. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by QP and Abraham. 1-800-800-5678. QP and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. Scoreless through an inning and a half. Sunday fun day. Young boys and girls out here at the ballpark tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. Series finale, Brewers and Pirates. Neuenhuis, Santana, and Arcia for the Crew here in the bottom of the second.
Could you ask for a better day today?
This is ideal.
This is incredible.
Blue sky, temperature in the 70s. A beautiful Sunday afternoon. Second inning of work for Ivan Nova against Neuenhuis. Well, the game didn't go the way the Brewers would have hoped last night, but the post-game concert was top-notch. Boy, Kip Moore brought his A game. That was fun. Good show last night.
Jumped into the crowd, and yeah, that was fun. We had him on the air last night in the second inning. Has a baseball background.
Yeah, he does. Neuenhuis is on to begin the second. Yeah, his grandfather, minor leaguer in the St. Louis Cardinals system. It was fun. See Neuenhuis just getting clipped.
And bounce and then hit his foot. That's not going to hurt. That's a easy, painless way to get on first base.
That's how you want to get hit by a pitch. Here is Domingo Santana. A wave and a miss there from Nova. It's the start in left field this afternoon. Just a rest day for Ryan Braun. Important opportunities here for Santana. Has had to fight through the injury troubles this year. Brewer fans certainly remember when he came over last season in the trade. He was doing a lot of good things for this Brewers team, and he was looking to carry that over into this season, but the injury bug really has been nasty.
Yeah, shoulder, elbow. Only 171 plate appearances this year, and yeah, you wonder if the Brewers at the end of the season, depending on how things go, they might have him go to winter ball, maybe play some down in winter ball in the offseason, make up for lost time.
Nova with the 1-2. There's Orlando Arcia on deck. Bat is starting to heat up a little bit for the young shortstop. Nice encouraging sign.
And that's sure that he needs the work down in winter ball. He's played a lot, but they put a lot of pressure on these kids. In the countries in Latin America where they come from, to play a little bit of winter ball. I mean, it's considered to be something that you should do. Thing is, you don't want to have them playing too much. Need some time to rest and some downtime. That's important.
I always thought I wanted to bounce this off you too. You certainly, as you mentioned, pressure on guys like Arcia. A lot of guys just like to play too, and yet you kind of walk that tightrope maybe between staying in the rhythm of the game, but maybe overdoing it a little bit too.
And a lot of guys will do it right before spring training, maybe a month before spring training.
It's a ground ball to Harrison. That's trouble. 4-6-3. Harrison, Mercer to Jaso for the double play. Pirates turn more than anybody. This turn another double play. Here's Arcia. Talked about a lot when he was going through the 2 for 34. Well, he has a 5-game hitting streak going now, and 7 for 15, including his first big league homer.
Yeah, starting to really make some good adjustments at the plate, particularly on pitches inside. He was struggling with that pitch for a while, and he's starting to maybe look in there, be a little bit quicker, and starting to start that bat and get some base hits to left field. Has always been a very good opposite field hitter, and he showed that when he first came up.
Good series, including a couple of hits last night. There's a bouncer to short, charging is Mercer, and that'll do it for the Brewers in the second. So a double play and a ground ball ends the inning, and we are quickly through 2, no score.
score. Brewers, Pirates, and the Brewers continue this homestand tomorrow as they kick off a 3-game series against the St. Louis Cardinals for the final time here at home this year. Reserve your spot today at Brewers.com.
A run of 30 games start to finish that the Brewers are in right now against Central Division rivals. Jordy Mercer leading things off. He's had good numbers against Anderson, 5 for 8 when he has faced today's starter. And he has made his one hit in this series count. A grand slam on Friday night, his first career grand slam. Came against Matt Garza in that big 6th inning in a 5-3 Pittsburgh win. All of the runs coming in that 6th inning. The Brewers countered a 3-run homer from Orlando Arcia.
Anything Jordy Mercer does with the bat's a bonus. As good as he is defensively out at short, he's made some nice plays in this series, including that last play to end the inning for Milwaukee. Arcia getting down the line on a little dribbler and gets rid of that baseball very quickly.
A ball, 2 strikes to Mercer. Mentioned that Cardinals series. When I see the Pirates, I think of Mike Emmerich, Doc Emmerich, the great hockey announcer, who's a diehard baseball fan. He loves the Pirates. He actually called some games in spring training for Pirates television, and he referred to the Cardinals as the evil St. Louis Cardinals.
Wow.
I think Brewer fans can relate. There's a ground ball to Jeanette.
Well, some might think it, but actually not say it on television.
He did. He went ahead and just had the fan hat on and enjoyed it. But Doc Emmerich, for those who follow hockey at all, know he's about as good as it gets in any sport, really. And great hockey announcer, and he loves his Pirates. So said it with a smile, but yes, the evil St. Louis Cardinals. They will be in town beginning tomorrow.
Are you condoning that?
I'm not scolding him.
I guess you are, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit. But with respect.
With respect, they always seem to be right in there, with all the injuries and guys coming and going, and Matt Holliday out. They're still hanging in there with that wild card.
Yeah, they find a way year after year. Think back a few years ago, they had those ridiculous numbers with runners in scoring positions. Some years they don't have power. This year they do. They have injuries. They're always in it, though, the Cardinals. Von Nova down a ball, 2 strikes. Getting some National League hacks now is Nova.
Got a couple of hits, 2 for 10.
Make it 2 for 11. Out number 2, and there's the first strikeout for Chase Anderson this afternoon.
Yeah, Chase got good stuff today. I mean, all 3 of his pitches, actually 4. He's got that cut fastball. You see that 4-seam fastball on the outside corner, and no match for the pitcher. He's got good command in and out with the fastball. Curveball's been good. And when he's going well, he's going to throw about 50% fastballs and 50% off speed. And it seems like that's what he's doing here today.
Top of the order, Josh Harrison. Going pie chart today, Rock.
Yeah, well, 55% for the season. And you got the changeup's always a big pitch, and the cut fastball slash slider, depends on how he releases it. And when he has that curveball going with all those other 3 pitches, that's when he has his good outings. When he has 4 pitches to go to. Not often, not many pitchers, have 4 pitches at any given start to go to, but when he's got that curveball working with everything else, that's when he's normally pretty tough to hit.
He's quickly ahead of Harrison, 0-2. Harrison had a 3-hit night last night. He's 5 hits in the series. Pirates have had him at the top of the order now for a couple of dozen games, giving his team some pretty good production at that spot. There's that curveball. All-Star a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we've seen him real hot. We've also seen him real cold, and sometimes he will sit when he's not getting on base. But I'll tell you what's been keeping in the lineup. I mean, with the ups and downs, how good he's been at second.
Yeah, we have seen that this weekend. Pretty good defensive team, this Pirates outfit. And he's been a big part of it. Again, the 1-2 bounces up there. He was an all-star. He made it as a utility player. He was playing all over. And last year they wanted to put him over at third, and then with Jung Ho Gong's emergence, and now they have David Freese, second base, a good spot. Neil Walker, of course, being moved in the offseason to the Mets. He's handled that position well. 2-2 pitch. That is just foul.
And a good changeup by Chase Anderson. It was down, but it was a little bit in, which allowed Harrison to get a bat on it.
Seen Anderson pitch very well. Obviously, there have been some very bumpy days as well, but his first couple of starts, he did not give up an earned run. Going back to the beginning of the season, appearances against the Astros and in St. Louis.
Yeah, 6-4 in this ballpark. 6-4, a 4.57 earned run average here at Miller Park.
Includes an outing in the middle of May. He went 8 2/3, the edge of a complete game against the Chicago Cubs. He got just 3 hits and 2 runs on that day, and see, he has some pretty good numbers at Miller Park. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Harrison extending the at bat. Payoff again. He'll waste it again. And Anderson's last start, the pitch count got up 96 in 5 innings of work against the Rockies.
These are the kind of at bats that'll do it to you too. A lot of foul balls.
Pitch number 11 to Harrison. And that is hit into center field and hit well. Neuenhuis near the wall. Hauls it in. We've seen a few warning track flies, but the Park's holding it so far. Still no score.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. Last night for the Red Sox, Dustin Pedroia had a big night at the plate, 4 for 5, a double and a run. He had a hit in 11 straight at-bats before the 8th. Last night for the Reds as well, Scott Schiebler went 3 for 5, a pair of home runs, and that was a part of a 5 home run effort for the Reds in a 13-0 win. And Bryce Harper last night was ejected for the second time this season for arguing balls and strikes and extras. And he certainly got his money's worth, guys. I don't know if you saw it, but it was certainly a very emotional ejection for Bryce Harper last night.
Making ejections fun again. Bryce Harper, huh?
Crazy, huh?
Wow. That game really got away from the Nats. They ended up losing 9-4.
Borderline pitch for Harper.
Yeah.
And you might have thought the ball bounced and was called a strike the way he reacted. Goodness.
8-9-1 here for the Brewers. Yeah, we'll try to show you that here in a moment or so if you missed it last night. Manny Pena leading things off. Even 300 average. And a wave and a miss, and leading the strikeout Cervelli to Jaso for out number 1. Well, let's check it out. Here's what Sophia was talking about a moment ago with Bryce Harper. 8th time he's been tossed.
Look at that. I mean, you kidding me? I mean, you know what? Swing the bat. If you want to end the game driving a run, swing the bat. That's the response.
Yeah, when you show up an umpire like that, you get no leeway. They might let you ask a question or two, fair to say, Rock, but when you're spiking the helmet, nah.
Yeah.
That's an easy one. Chase Anderson with a broken bat, foul ball.
I mean, do you sympathize with any of these hitters these days? I mean, there are times, I mean, very seldom, but when you get a really bad call, you know, you get rung up. But I mean, it's hard to sympathize with hitters these days when they get rung up and they get upset with the way the strike zone is these days.
No,
I mean, no sympathy whatsoever. Go up there, swing the bat, end the game, get a base hit.
no, that's why people like watching guys like Harper, because they can be so exciting when they let her rip. He's obviously not having the kind of year we're used to seeing, but you know how good he is. Anderson strikes out as Nova gets back-to-back punch outs here in the 3rd.
Hey, you like passion in the game, but I mean, you got to know when to, you know, show it. You know, and you don't blame the umpire for an at bat. I mean, you don't put your at bat in a tough situation in the hands of the umpire on a close pitch.
Yeah, and that's one that a guy like him can go get.
Be mad at yourself,
Yeah.
not the umpire. Swing the bat. Not coming from a guy up here that never walked, swung at everything.
And we like that.
Yeah.
Let it go.
There was a lot of us back then. No doubt how good he is. I mean, he's certainly, you know, face of Major League Baseball, but
Well, here's VR getting into one into right center field. Gone! Jonathan VR. Number 11 on the year. That got out of here in a hurry.
there's a breaking ball. Check it out, and it hangs right down the middle of the plate, up around the belt, and VR gives it a ride and gives the Brewers a 1-0 lead. Well, he got a pitch and didn't waste it. Yep, taps his chest saying that's my mistake. It was a good pitch. You know, it's not the call, it's the pitch. Every pitch is a good pitch if you put it where you want it.
It stayed up, and VR drove it. First run of the game here this afternoon. Has he been good with the bat this season? 0-1 to Scooter Gennett. The Brewers get the jump here in inning number 3 against Ivan Nova. Over the 29-year-old from the Dominican Republic. Originally signed with the Yankees back in 2004. He's ahead of Jeanette, a ball, 2 strikes. Scooter will lift one into left center field. That'll be Marte, and that will end the inning here for the Brewers. But the Crew getting on the scoreboard courtesy of that man, Jonathan Villar, who goes deep for the 11th time this year, and we are through 3, 1-0 Brew Crew. Gives the Brewers a 1-0 lead as we move to the 4th inning. The Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Girls on the Run in their dedication to empowering young girls and instilling confidence through running. Registration now open. Learn more about how you can get involved this fall and visit foxsportsupports.com. Good looking group there at the ballpark this afternoon. Still holding up. There we go.
They were told.
I was waiting for the go sign.
They were told to sit still, and they listened. Good job.
John Jason with a liner, just foul at first. I thought that girl had the starter flag going. She was going to say, "Go ahead and point and let's go."
Simon says, "Don't move."
That's right. Pirates just 1 hit through the first 3 innings. Jaso a fly ball to center his first trip. And Anderson gets the jump, 2 strikes and nothing. 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Pirates order here today. Here in this 4th inning today. .261 average for Jaso. On base percentage at .347. Hit into right field. Perez on the run. 1 out.
Yeah, back-to-back curveballs by Chase. 1 in the dirt. That's where you want it with 2 strikes. You left that one up, and Jaso put a good swing on it, but right at Perez and right.
Here's Andrew McCutchen. Well, Pirates have had big nights from multiple sources in this series. It began with McCutchen on Thursday. He drove in all 3 runs for the Pirates in that extra inning 3-2 victory. He had a solo homer and a couple of singles working away from the shift.
And that's one thing he hasn't been really doing a lot of this year is, driving the ball into the opposite field. And throughout his career, he's always been very good at that. And that's probably why you see that batting average down. 252. That is way down for McCutchen and maybe a little bit too pull conscious.
The Brewers swing the infield to the left side again. To McCutchen's credit, he was successful working away from it, at least on Thursday night. Break even pitch, and he'll bloop one over it here and into right field.
Still a good pitch though. In on his hands. Just fights it off and dumps it into right. Good hitters will do that. Watch him pull the hands in, trying the best he can to get the barrel of the bat on it. Those hands skimming the jersey, actually. Check out how close the hands are to the body. Opening up those hips and still able to muscle it out into right field on a pretty good pitch.
It is huge for the Pirates the rest of the season if he continues this trend, and he is trending in a favorable direction offensively now for Pittsburgh. Better than 300 here he's hitting this month. There's Gregory Polanco. Talked about different sources stepping up big. It was Polanco last night. Bases clearing double. That was in the 6th. One of the final runs of the night.
Yeah, got ahead in the count 2-0, and finally on a 2-1 pitch, he drove one into right center off of Blaine Boyer.
One 1-0 the count. With one out and one on.
Yeah, just check out the hands. This is how you get the barrel of the bat on a pitch that's in off the plate, or at least in. Watch how close his hands are to his body. Really concentrating on trying to get the barrel of the bat on the baseball. Really doesn't do it, but gets enough of it to dump it into right field. That's why they say it's kind of a misnomer when you say swing the bat. You're actually throwing the barrel of the bat at the baseball. You don't swing it.
I enjoyed the broadcast on Tuesday when you talked. The theme of the night was the art of hitting in the pregame show, and really made note of that when you said that. Throw your hands at the ball. It's one of those things that a lot of people in the game obviously know it, but if you're just starting out and you just get that into your head from youth baseball on, make a big difference.
Yeah. There are a lot of things involved in hitting a baseball, and you can be as simplistic as you want about some of the important things, but it's all important. Everything. The way you swing the bat, your setup, the mechanics, your thought process, seeing the baseball. It's all very complicated and intertwined, and it takes a lot of practice. These guys don't wake up one day at seven years old, all of a sudden can hit. It takes a lot of work, and they continue to work hard at this level.
When you think now, in every era there are great challenges, but now where you have so many hard throwing relief pitchers, and if you get through the starter, which obviously you don't see complete games at anywhere near the clip you used to, but you bring in fresh arms, and it's one pitcher with nasty stuff after the other, and that makes the hardest job in sports that much more challenging.
Right. And not many can do it. That's why they pack stadiums and people watch them do it.
That's right.
Because it looks awfully easy when you're watching on television. You're sitting in the stands, and anything but. Tougher things to do in sports.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Gregory Polanco. McCutchen the runner at first with 1 out. Darnell Coles chatting with Jimmy Nelson there. Darnell doing a lot of important work in that role.
Yeah, pitchers will talk to the hitting coaches and talk about what the hitters are thinking about when they're in certain situations, certain counts, game situations, and not a bad idea. I've seen pitchers over and over again talk to hitting coaches, talk to hitters about maybe what they might not be looking for in certain situations. I guarantee they're not talking about Jimmy's swing at the plate.
Oh, except for that big hit he had in Cincinnati right after the All-Star break, right?
Yeah.
Shooting one down the line. Well, a walk to Polanco. Pirates have a little something going with one out in the second. McCutchen singled to right, and Polanco follows with a walk. This was after Jaso lined to right to begin the inning.
You know, it's interesting. You see Jimmy talking to Darnell Coles. The last thing he can be doing right now is talking to his pitching coach while Chase Anderson is on the mound. And while the Brewers are up, I mean, that's when you talk to the pitching coach, because he's kind of, I don't want to say disconnected, but it's not his thing.
Yeah, the window is there to talk to him. Got an opportunity. Starling Marte, a bunch single in the second. Marte to left field, and that's going to drop in front of Santana. And the bases are now loaded. McCutchen had to hold up to make sure the ball dropped, which it did. And the Pirates have a big threat going here in the fourth.
Yeah, another pitch in, and really not hit all that hard, but very effective. So a couple of jam shots. McCutchen, Marte, Polanco the walk. The bases are now loaded. You can see down on the trademark. I mean, Polanco, once again, I should say Marte, pulling the hands in, able to fight it off in the left field this time. And so the contact not all that great, but you know, the fact that these pitches are up in the zone a little bit, you're able to elevate it and get it over the infield.
We'll bring pitching coach Derek Johnson out to talk to Anderson. First big threat of the afternoon against Chase. Through the first 3 innings, gave up just a bunt single. Opportunity now for David Freese.
Yeah, good double play guy at the plate. Get the baseball down and get out of this mess.
See if Anderson can do that. Freese has grounded into 10 double plays so far this season. See if Anderson can get a ground ball from the Pirates' third baseman. Still best known for his great postseason in 2011 for the St. Louis Cardinals. That's the situation that he looks at right now. Just one out here in the fourth inning. Twelve homers. He has driven in 49, and those are his numbers with the bases loaded. Made the most of it twice in his career. He's lifted to right field toward the line. Perez, no play.
Yeah, another pitch inside. He is really working the inside corner in this inning. A lot of fastballs today for Chase Anderson. And he's been effective. I mean, even the hits in this inning have not been hit all that hard.
He's ahead of ball, 2 strikes. McCutchen at third, Polanco the runner at second, Marte at first. Trying to finish off David Freese here. And he does. Big strikeout. Second for Anderson. There are 2 men out here in the fourth.
A good fastball. Both of them in. Here's a pitch 2 pitches ago before the strikeout coming in on him. And the crowd left that one a little bit out over the plate, but there's a good 2-seam fastball. A little bit of movement and Freeze over the top of it. So once again coming inside and getting the job done.
2 outs, bases loaded for Francisco Cervelli. The fly ball to right back in the second inning. Curveball misses. Cervelli back in the lineup here this afternoon. Had last night off. Ground ball to Arcia. The force at second. Well done. Pirates had him loaded with one out. Anderson works out of it. Keeps the Pirates off the board. And the Brewers remain a 1-0 leader.
One to nothing lead, and today's time of the game winner, Friendly Village Tavern in Afton. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. You know where Afton is?
Really? I know that. Rock County, a little bit north of Beloit, right? Is that right?
Yeah. You saw my note from Mike.
No, I did not see your note. I did not.
You're lying to me now.
No, he told me, so I didn't have to look at your note.
Rand McNally comes in handy.
You are all about Rock County, aren't you?
Yeah.
Rock, yeah. Here's Arenado Perez. First pitch swinging, and this is hit into left field, and it hangs up long enough for Marte for out number 1. Time now for today's Carsoup.com trivia question. Let's check it out this afternoon. Prior to last night, who was the last Brewers pitcher to hit a home run for his first major league hit? Go. Yeah, Tyler Cravey last night going downtown. You need to know the last Brewers pitcher to do that before his first hit. What Tyler Cravey did. This was how he greeted Jeff Locke out of the bullpen, and Cravey got all of it.
Yeah, that's no wall scraper right there. Second deck out there in left center. Was 0 for 2 before that.
Pitcher's rake. At least he did one time last night. Yeah, that game was shaping up to be a real wild one. It tied the game, but the rest of the night the Brewers bats struggled. Pirates had good work out of their bullpen. Ball 2 strikes to Chris Carter with 1 out in the 4th. 30 home runs for Carter. That has him 3rd in the National League. Chris Bryant with 35. Nolan Arenado of the Rockies with 34. Bryant hit a couple on Friday night for the Cubs in a comeback win. This is popped up into foul territory, and Jaso runs out of room. Bangs around on the camera well. Jaso playing first regularly for the first time in his career this season with the Pirates.
Yeah, Pirates are wondering what they were going to do over at first base. Picked up Jason Rogers in that Broxton deal. Maybe thought he'd be the answer. It didn't work out for Rogers. He's been down in AAA just about all year.
Yeah.
And John Jaso, a catcher. They threw him over there.
Carter swings and lifts one to center field. McCutchen, 2 men out. Ivan Nova, impressive so far. He has given up the solo homer to Jonathan Villar, and that's been it so far for the Crew. Nova had a big year with the Yankees back in 2011. He went 16-4 that year, and that was the season where he finished 4th in the Rookie of the Year voting. Jeremy Hellickson, the Rays won it that year. Mark Trumbo and Eric Hosmer were 2nd and 3rd. It was a big year. He debuted a bit in 2010, but the rookie status was secure the following season. The ball to strike to Kirk Neuenhuis. It's hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. Just clipped him with the back foot. Here's a chance for Josh Harrison. And it's a 1-2-3 inning again for Ivan Nova, and we are through 4. It's still 1-0 Brewers over the Pirates.
Back at Miller Park, it's a 1-0 lead for the Brewers as we head to the 5th, and it's not too late to join the Brewers Community Foundation in its season-long effort to make a difference in our community by purchasing 50/50 raffle tickets at every home game. Proceeds will go to support nonprofit organizations in the areas of health, education, recreation, and basic needs. And one lucky fan will take home half of the game day ticket sales, and there are not many home games left here for the Crew, so certainly fans want to take advantage next time they're here.
Yeah, thanks, Sophia. You're right. The home schedule is winding down. 9 home games in the month of September. That's it for the Brewers. Still some homestand left here after today's game. The Cardinals come to town. 4-3. Jordy Mercer leading off against Chase Anderson in the 5th.
Hard to believe September is right around the corner. You're going to start getting busy again.
6 days away.
Big day at Lambeau Field coming up.
Yeah, the Badgers and the LSU Tigers. College football Lambeau Field. I'd like to start with a softie, you know, of LSU.
It's kind of a warm-up.
5th or 6th ranked team in the country, depending on what rankings you want to go with right now. But yeah, that'll be fun. Be a lot of LSU fans there too, the way they work out that deal. There is strike 3 call. Curveball locks up Jordy Mercer for out number 1.
Well, obviously looking for something else. Check this out. Right down the middle. That's that curveball from Chase Anderson. I mean, you're talking about center cut right down the middle of the plate. And he knew it.
One out for the pitcher, Ivan Nova.
And when you got a guy throwing as well as Anderson has so far today, it's a very easy game to call. I mean, you don't really have to try and work too hard to figure out what he's going to be throwing for strikes, because he's throwing everything for strikes.
Yeah, he is.
And it makes a lot of fun to be able to work a guy like Anderson the way he's dialed in tonight or today.
Yeah, we're seeing good chase here so far this afternoon. There's a curveball that is waved out by Nova. 1-2 the count. Anderson got out of a bases loaded jam in the fourth. Bases loaded with one out, but was able to get out of it, striking out David Freese and getting Cervelli to ground into a fielder's choice. Arcia to Jeanette, and that has allowed the Brewers to keep this 1-0 lead in the top half of the fifth inning. Full count now to Ivan Nova.
Yeah, showing some respect, huh? Curveballs. And now he's got to come in with a strike.
Payoff pitch. Stays in there. Look out. Rockets one into the crowd. Mentioned Nova with 2 hits this season. Actually, if you're wondering, they are not his first 2 big league hits. His first came 4 years ago with the Yankees. So he now has 3 big league hits. And that is strike 3 called. Back to back here for Anderson in the 5th.
A good battle for Nova, but you can see Anderson wins that battle right at the bottom of the strike zone, able to get him looking. 3 of the last 4 outs have been strikeouts for Chase Anderson.
Freese, Mercer, and Nova. Also in there, a ground ball from Cervelli. Lineup turns over for Josh Harrison. There's that curve missing. Harrison, a ground ball to short and a warning track fly to center in the 3rd. Fastball evens the count. Five-hit series for Harrison. He had 3 of them last night. His first 3 trips to the plate, as a matter of fact. Stole a couple of bases. Two balls, 1 strike. Curve is sent well. It's well hit into left field, and that is a foul ball. Jumped on it a little early, did Harrison. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It jumped all over a changeup that was up and in.
Two pitch. See the pitch count at 87 for Anderson. He did 96 to get through 5 innings. His last start against the Rockies. Swung on and missed, and Anderson strikes out the side in the 5th. He gets Mercer, he gets Nova, he gets Josh Harrison. 5 strikeouts for Anderson. It remains a 1-0 lead for the Crew.
Remind him there's just one more Miller Monday left this season. That's tomorrow as the Brewers host the Cardinals. And Terrace Reserve tickets are just $6 courtesy of Miller High Life. Visit brewers.com/highlight for more information. Yet another way to thank our folks from Miller Coors.
No doubt about it.
Inexpensive seats.
Here's Domingo Santana against Ivan Nova, bottom of the 5th. The difference in the game so far, a Jonathan Villar home run in the 3rd inning. Brewers with just a couple of hits through the first 4 against Nova. And there's a ground ball gobbled up by Jordy Mercer for the first out of the inning. Mentioned Nova had that big year 5 years ago as a rookie, going 16-4. From that year to the following, he had a stretch where he won 15 straight games for the Yankees. Face Orlando Arcia now. Ground ball to short from Arcia in the 2nd inning.
I guess fell out of grace, right? I mean, trading to the Pirates for basically 2 players to be named later. Interesting.
Yeah.
You get a starting pitcher like that. Of course, he struggled a bit as a Yankee this year.
He did. He was 7-6 with the Yankees this year. He had Tommy John surgery in 2014. His season lasted all of 4 starts. He split his decisions. He had decisions in each of his 4, going 2-2, but missed the rest of that season. Did not return until late in June of last year. June 24th to be exact. Ended up with 17 starts for the Yankees a year ago. This season for New York, beyond the record, the ERA was nearly 5.
That bouncing between the rotation and the bullpen. A little bit of both.
Pirates counting on him, and he has performed well. 3-0 as a Pirate, including that complete game against the Astros in his last start. Still 2 strikes and nothing to Arcia. This Pirates rotation looking drastically different than the way it was set up at the beginning of the year. Injury, some ineffectiveness has played a role. Arcia trying to check it, and he did. Dale Scott, the crew chief, over there at first today.
And things aren't really getting better. I mean, Garrett Cole, he's going to miss his start tomorrow. They're concerned about his arm. That's never a good thing.
A ball, 2 strikes. Well hit and snagged by David Freese. Out number 2. Good contact, but not rewarded, but still making some good contact again is Orlando Arcia.
Man, Lick pitching him inside quite a bit, and all of a sudden now, over the last week or so, he's starting to turn on these pitches. Fastball in, popping those hips open, getting the barrel of the bat out, and putting some pretty good swings. A little bit of a lean back, a back leg swing on a pitch inside, maybe giving him a little bit more time to get the barrel of the bat out there.
2 outs, bases empty as Nova gets set to face Manny Pena. Pena getting his 9th starts with the Brewers. That's the call up.
Been swinging it pretty well. .290 batting average. He's been walking. And he's showing a really good arm at behind home plate. He's got a good throwing arm to second base.
Pena goes the other way, right field, long run, Polanco, and it is a foul ball. Polanco makes a friend. There you go. Well done. Everybody else finding out about the arm of Pena. The offense, maybe not so much a secret. He had very good numbers at Colorado Springs, hitting .329 there over 63 games. He's brought some good offense to this level.
Yeah, Von Nova walking off into the dugout. I don't blame him. This is a good pitch. Not sure where that missed. Look at Fox Tracks has it right on the corner.
See, that's why Bryce Harper got mad yesterday. Took that one on the edge.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, you know, a lot of times those pitches aren't called strikes. So
right.
when they are, sometimes these guys go nuts.
And Harper did. 2-2 pitch. And that missed inside.
That didn't miss by much either. So if I'm catching here, I'm saying to the home plate umpire, well, if you're not going to give him the borderline on the inside, you got to give him the outside corner, or vice versa. Got to give him something.
Pena hits it well, center field, on the run. McCutchen diving and can't get it. It will go to the wall, and Pena has himself a 2-out double.
It makes hitting a lot easier when you get 5 strikes.
That helps, doesn't it?
A couple of pitches with 2 strikes that probably could have been called. Watch where the pitch ends up. Catcher has to leak that glove over the heart of the plate, and it looked like Cervelli knew that that was going to be trouble. Good effort by McCutchen, but not able to get there. So a 2-out double. After a couple of pitches, could have been called strikes. But you know what? Take advantage of it, and he did.
Here's Chase Anderson.
Never a good sign when a catcher has to reach down the heart of the plate to catch a baseball. Whether he's setting up on the inside corner or on the outside corner. When that glove moves to the middle of the plate,
Yeah.
it's not often good things are going to happen for the pitcher.
Yes, that has a bad ending a lot. 0-2 to Anderson. A good pitching matchup here this afternoon with Anderson and Ivan Nova. Chase has kept the Pirates off the board through 5. And he goes down swinging. Cervelli will secure it. And that'll do it for the Brewers. So the 2-out double from Pena is wasted, and we are through 5. Still 1-0 Milwaukee. Good one going on today. Good pitchers duel as Chase Anderson and Ivan Nova hooking up, and you see the numbers looking very similar. The difference, a Jonathan Villar home run off Nova. That's it through 5. 1-0 Brewers lead the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Chase Anderson doing a really good job today with that fastball, keeping it on the corners. Has been very effective with that pitch and throwing a lot of them.
Side of the score, the difference, the pitch count. Anderson's getting up there, but see if he can roll through the 6th. Ivan Nova, like his counterpart today, has allowed just 3 hits. Here's John Jaso, top of the 6th for the Pirates. 2, 3, and 4 again for the Pirates. That's what they had in the 4th, an inning where they left the bases loaded. Just a big chance in that inning. Bases loaded with 1 out, and Anderson got a strikeout of David Freese and a ground ball from Francisco Cervelli. Jaso has the fly ball to right, or rather to center, and he has lined to right. It was his last trip in the 4th. Brewers have to shift on, swing into the right side. Two balls, 1 strike to Jaso. Four homers. He has driven in 30 this year as Jaso. He swings and hits one into right field and hit it well. Back goes Perez, and that's home run number 5 for Jaso, and he has just tied the game. That is something Jaso has not done much of at the position where you normally get a lot of power at first base. But he shows a little power there, and it's a 1-1 game.
Yeah, one of the few times that Anderson has been behind in the count. He was down in the count 2-0. And a couple of pitches that got a lot of the plate, both fastballs. This time Jaso giving it a pretty good ride and pulls it into the seats and right on a 2-1 pitch. And when you're not throwing hard, you got to work ahead in the count. Got behind and paid for it.
There's Andrew McCutchen. One for 2 as he continues to bump up that batting average. Still nowhere where he's used to seeing it, but getting there. Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, will make a slow walk to the mound. 2 solo homers today. That's been the scoring as Jan Marinez getting loose for the Brewers.
The 6th inning has been a good inning for the Pirates offense. In this series, they've scored 9 runs in the 6th inning.
Yeah, 5 on Friday night, including that Jordy Mercer grand slam. 3 last night, and Gregory Polanco there, he provided the RBIs in the 6th inning with a bases clearing double. And Rock, we say McCutchen is heating up as we look at his hot zone there, and it's starting to come around for him in August.
Yeah, you got to work inside on him, but you can't miss that over the plate. That's a good pitch. He fought one off in the right field on a pitch in on him his last time up.
2-1 pitch misses, and hitters count now for McCutchen. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Not too many good hitters have good numbers on the inside part of the plate. You pitch good hitters in, you pitch bad hitters away.
McCutchen fouls one off, and the count is full.
Of course, there's not too many bad hitters in the big major leagues. I mean, they're all good. Some are better than others. You don't get to this level if you're not a good hitter. But good hitters realize how difficult it is for pitchers to pitch in effectively. You leave it out over the plate, or you miss in off the plate.
Anderson with the 3-2 pitch, and McCutchen reaches out, sends one to right field, and squeezing it is Hernan Perez for out number 1.
perfect pitch on McCutchen right here, but you know, the good hitter Andrew McCutchen, even on a tough pitch down and away, just nice easy swing, levels it out and hits a line drive into right field, shortening up with 2 strikes.
One away in the 6th, and now Gregory Polanco. Takes a look at ball 1. Polanco swings, and that's hit well into right field, and that's gone. Number 20 for Gregory Polanco, and a couple of home runs for the Pirates in the 6th have given them the lead.
And just like that. And John Jaso, now Gregory Polanco, a couple of left-handers getting the job done in this inning. Well, now 10 runs for the Pirates in the 6th inning in this series. And this one giving the Pirates a lead. That was a changeup that time from Chase. And Polanco able to wait back long enough. Remember his first time up, he was just a little bit out in front, kept it in the ballpark. Perez with a good catch. This time he waits back a little bit longer.
And the day ends for Chase Anderson, gives up 2 homers. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh. At the last couple of nights, big 3-run double last night and a solo shot a moment ago off of Chase Anderson, who gave up bombs to Jaso and Polanco here in the 6th. So Chase's day is done. 5 1/3 he works as he gives way to Jan Marinez.
Yeah, good numbers for Marinez, and you know, 338 earned run average in appearance number 33. We saw him on Friday against these Pirates and tossed a 3-up 3-down inning. Picked him up from the Tampa Bay Rays back on May 12th.
He has been good. You never know where the production is going to come from as Starling Marte pops one up in the shallow left, and Arcia will handle it for out number 2. To the work of Marinez, I think of Carlos Torres, who the Brewers picked up just before the season began. You don't know. You go through spring training, you get an idea of what you have there, and some moves either just before the season or a month or so into it, and you have guys who have turned in some pretty good work for you.
How about Brent Suter last night? 3 innings. Did a good job out of the bullpen.
David Freese gets plunked. And the 2 outs, he'll be the runner at first.
No chance he got away with this. Able to get the head out of the way. A big fastball by Marinez. Look at him right in the back of the shoulder. The advantage of turning your body away from the pitch.
Yes. Two outs, frees the runner at first, and Marinez will face Francisco Cervelli. Cervelli, a fly ball to right. Ground ball to short, which ended a bases loaded threat in the fourth. Strike on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball that Cervelli isn't so sure about. Really?
That's a good way to handle it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's only the first strike. It might be a little different situation. It was strike 3.
Going back to what you mentioned about Suter, that was impressive last night. It's great when you can throw it 94, 95, 96. Well, in Suter's case, you take about 10 off of that. But he struck out the side in his final inning. If you haven't seen him yet, you want to check him out. And don't blink, because you might miss something, because he works as fast as anybody.
You blink, you might miss 2 pitches.
You're exactly right.
You know, they say you have to get the baseball, you know, and you're pitching, you have 20 seconds between pitches. He's got about 5.
If you think Zach Davies works quickly, and he does, but Suter is next level when it comes to tempo. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cervelli. Pirates have grabbed the lead in the 6th inning. A team that has won 7 straight on the road. In between that road winning streak, they had a poor homestand, dropping 5 of 6. Struggled against the Marlins and the Astros at PNC Park. That is strike 3 called. Cervelli looks at it, and the inning is over, but the Pirates take the lead courtesy of a couple of big flies here in the 6th. John Jaso led off with this home run to right, and then a couple of hitters later, it was Gregory Polanco, and his blast gives the Pirates a 2-1 lead. Sixth here at Miller Park. It's a game of home runs, and for the Brewers that means Jonathan Villar. This shot over the wall in right center was the first run of the game, and the 11th home run of the season for Jonathan Villar. It's the one and only run here so far for the Crew. He's at the plate, presented by Wendy's. 1 for 2 for VR. A ground ball to second. His first trip to the plate here this afternoon. Third time around now against Ivan Nova. A run on 3 hits for Milwaukee. 2 runs on 5 for the Pirates. Right back to the mound. 1 up and 1 down in the 6th.
Hey, there's still time to earn free Brewers tickets this year, simply by filling up your car with gas. Fans who complete a BP Come On Back card by making 7 purchases of 8 or more gallons of gas will earn free Brewers tickets. That's in the terrace level. For tickets, call 414-902-4000. Tickets and details.
What a good crowd here this afternoon. Good crowd last night, 35,000 plus. Good turnout again on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon in Milwaukee.
Good grilling weather today.
It is ideal.
I got some plans.
Yep.
Going home, firing up the grill.
What's the same here? Well, the tailgates were going strong again today. They always are. Day like today, turn it up a notch.
Yeah.
All 2 strikes to Scooter Gennett, looking for his first hit. A couple hits last night. Summer is flying by, or has flown by, I guess, if you're getting ready to head back to school, which is days away, or less, maybe singular for some. No place better than Wisconsin, though, in the summertime.
Not too bad in the fall either.
It's spectacular.
Perfect weather in the fall.
Spectacular weather. And we've both been here long enough. We embrace winter. All right. Well, for a while.
I like winter up until, maybe New Year's Day.
Yeah. Well, you have to get ready for fantasy camp. You got that going on.
Got to be around here for the snow and Christmas.
Still working on finding that window to get out there and be a camper one of these years.
Got an open invitation.
I have heard nothing but great reviews through the years. There's a ground ball to Josh Harrison. 2 men out in the 6th. He's trying to get a little offense going here. 2 outs, bases empty in the 6th. Let's check out that Carsoup.com trivia question. Before last night, who was the last Brewers pitcher to hit a home run for his first big league hit? Last night it was Tyler Cravey, but you go back 16 years ago, it was Jeff D'Amico, excuse me, against the Rockies.
The Big Daddy.
Yes, sir.
Starting pitcher for the Brewers in the first game ever at Miller Park against Cincinnati.
Cravey jumped on a pitch from Jeff Locke last night. Jeff D'Amico reference, and then the first relief pitcher to go deep for the Brewers since Brooks Kieschnick 13 years ago against the Giants in San Francisco. Hernan Perez homered twice last night, his first multi-homer game in the big leagues. 1 for 2 this afternoon. He's down 1-2 to Ivan Nova. And that is a called 3rd strike. And the Brewers go down in order here in the 6th inning. So Nova continuing to roll. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh. As Jonathan Villar opened up the scoring, he took Ivan Nova deep in the 3rd inning. 11th bomb of the year for Jonathan Villar. And Chase Anderson was having himself a day, including getting out of a bases-loaded jam with 1 out of the 4th inning, a strikeout, a freeze, a ground ball from Francisco Cervelli, and then the 6th inning happened. This has been a rough inning for the Brewers this weekend. John Jaso ties the game, and Gregory Polanco gives his team a 2-1 lead. Couple of solo shots off Anderson in the 6th, and that's where we are. 2-1 Pirates moving to the 7th inning.
So difficult for starters to get through that batting order 3 times. 3rd time through, did him in. A couple of pitches, a fastball and a changeup.
Sixth inning has been a real good one for the Pirates. There's a ground ball over to Villar at 3rd, and Mercer is retired for out number 1. A little injury update here this afternoon. It's a little news on that front as we check in with Sophia.
Yeah, Matt, last night we told you that Junior Guerra went 3 1/3 scoreless, just 1 hit allowed in his rehab start with the AAA Colorado Springs Sky Sox. And Craig Counsell said this morning, he said everything went well for him. They were able to watch the start online earlier in the afternoon, and so he said there were no signs of anything negative. So he said that, you know, the first time they'll go with a 6-man rotation. Guerra will likely slide in there after the off day on Thursday. I just wanted to make sure everything was good with Guerra today. I saw him as he was walking in. He told me he felt great. And also for Will Middlebrooks, he's with Biloxi. Yesterday he picked up 2 hits. He'll be back in the lineup today in AA, and they'll then determine the next step for him as he comes back from a calf injury.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Yeah, encouraging news there. Matt Joyce stepping in as a pinch hitter. He is pinch hitting for Ivan Nova, whose day is done. And did that get him? Let's see.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that not even close, that fastball.
Wow.
Now you figure, if not before, you figure these guys on the disabled list, and you know, Barnes included, the reliever Jacob Barnes, they're probably coming off the DL. They're probably activated when the rosters expand in September. September 1st, right around the corner. Was that Wednesday?
Yeah, it is. It is fast approaching. Thursday, actually, but yeah, it's fast approaching the month of September. But good news there in all accounts, and especially Junior Guerra. Everybody who's followed this team at all knows how good he's been. What a story, the 31-year-old rookie. Here's Josh Harrison. 1 out, 1 on here in the 7th inning. Marinez on in relief of Chase Anderson. Chase went 5 1/3. Gave up 5 hits and the 2 runs the Pirates have. Marinez having trouble locating the strike zone now, and that'll get a visit from his catcher Manny Pena.
Yeah, up and in on Josh Harrison, and I would imagine these Pirate hitters aren't going to be digging in on Marinez right now. A little bit wild. He is thrown so well. A scoreless 9th inning on Friday. He's been good.
Two balls, no strikes to Harrison. Up and in. Harrison hitless. 3 trips, a ground ball to short, a warning track fly to center in the 3rd, and he struck out in the 5th. And that's a 4-pitch walk. A little trouble here for the Crew in inning number 7. Hey, the Bucs schedule is out, and with a half-season ticket package, you're guaranteed a ticket to all of the top matchups, including opening night on October 26th and games against the world champion Cleveland Cavaliers, as well as the Golden State Warriors and the Chicago Bulls. Visit foxsportswisconsin.com and click, he said, upcoming events for details. Right around the corner, too, Bucs basketball. So Hit by a pitch and a walk, and that sets the table here for John Jaso. He homered his last trip. His 5th of the year.
Yeah, Chase Anderson got behind him 2-0, ended up 2-1. That's when he hit the home run. Looking fastball, got it, and rode it out of here to right.
Mourinho's ahead 0-2. 262 average for Jaso. Mourinho's pitched himself in some trouble here in the 7th inning. Joyce the runner at second, Harrison at first. 2-strike pitch. On it, but fouled it back.
Now, all 3 pitches to Jaso have been almost the exact spot. Fastballs away, but up a little bit. Seems like that's where he's missing right now. Arm side up. Now you say all 3 pitches on that dot.
0-2 again. Missing away. An important moment here in this game. Mourinho's trying to keep his team close. Pirates with a threat going with 1 out and 2 on. So is followed by McCutchen. Chance here for the Pirates to get some insurance. Hit batsman and a walk has those 2 men aboard. Knowing this situation's important, Pena wants to make sure they're on the same page.
Yeah, couldn't agree on the pitch, whether it be maybe a slider or a fastball. It's been all fastballs in this situation, and this at bat to Jaso. He's seen a lot of fastballs today. See if he throws him something different.
A 1-2. And that's a strikeout. Bringing in at 95, Mourinho's out number 2 here in the 7th.
That pitch off the plate, Jaso couldn't hold up. Got him to chase one. It's good movement. It started out in the corner, but ended up well off the plate. And Jaso tried to check his swing. That 2-seam fastball looked good from the beginning, but then tailed away off the plate.
Just enough run to bother Jaso, and there are 2 outs. Here's Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen with a hit in 3 trips. That was a 4th inning single to right. Otherwise, a fly to center and a liner to Hernan Perez in right. A good series, though, for the Pirates center fielder. The 1-0. Fastball's in there to even the count. Pirates have stranded 5 so far today. Mourinho is trying to make that number 7 left on base. Break even to McCutchen.
Yeah, 3 of those 5 came in the 4th inning. Left the bases loaded. So neither team with too many scoring opportunities today.
And all about the solo homers, of which Polanco has one of them, and it's the difference in the game right now. Ian Jaso going deep off Chase Anderson in the 6th. Sharply hit. Arcia, the backhand stop, and the throw. Yes, sir. Got him. Oh, that was pretty. Orlando Arcia flashing some leather here in the 7th. That's why he is a top prospect, ladies and gentlemen. Nicely done. Thank you very much, says Jan Marinez. We keep it at Miller Park on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon for God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
The Brewers in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Orlando Arcia showing why this organization really likes this guy. What a play.
Almost flat-footed and getting Andy McCutchen, who can get down that line and really quickly. Yeah, I'd smile too. I had an arm like that. I mean, that's some good talent right there. Interesting to watch that play develop. Jonathan Villar, if he goes back to third base, I think that's a pretty easy out at third. You see a lot of teams make that play. You know, Villar was, started after the baseball, just couldn't get back, and the only play he had, Arcia, was to get him at first base.
Changes now for the Pirates as Sean Rodriguez in at first and Antonio Bastardo on the mound here for the Pirates, and he will face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the Brewers order. It begins with Chris Carter.
Yeah, third appearance for Bastardo in the series, so he's been worked quite a bit. A lot of these Pirate relievers have been worked a lot. Matter of fact, their starter wasn't even available in last night's game, Tony Watson.
Yeah, they have a couple of options there, but yeah, Watson's been terrific in the role. And if Tally Feliz ended up finishing last night, then he has been a closer and a real good one in his career, especially those very early years with the Texas Rangers. Carter sends one into center field. Andrew McCutchen will make the play for out number 1. Let's see if Carter can get another shot before this game is over because of this graphic we're showing you now. He has reached safely in 20 straight games. Ryan Braun with a 29 game run there, but Carter 0 for 3 this afternoon. 3 fly balls so far today.
And 15 of those 20 have been with a base hit. He's also walked to keep those streaks alive.
Keon Broxton now pinch hitting for Kirk Neuenhuis. A swing and a miss from Broxton. See the numbers for Broxton. Overall now up to 227, but he has hustled to get it there. Good work since the 4th call up. And he rockets one foul and out of play.
And we talk about throwing the hands. We were talking about that today, and Broxton a good example of that. The adjustment that he made throughout the season here. He was more of a body swinger when his hands were up. Now with the hands down like that, much quicker to the baseball, throwing the bat at the ball.
And a swing and a miss here in Bastardo. 2 up, 2 down here in the 7th. We mentioned that Pirates bullpen. It's been performing pretty well. Let's get more on that as we check in with Sophia.
That's right. Before the game, Craig Counsell said that Pirates bullpen has really been the key to this series, in which winning each of the first 3 games. Over the first 3, they've gone 13 1/3 innings, giving up just 2 earned runs and 21 strikeouts. So he said following that trade of Mark Melancon, guys like Neftali Feliz, Felipe Rivero have all stepped up, and he said they've been effective in shutting down our offense throughout these close games.
Yeah, finding a way. When that Mark Melancon move was made, people wondered, are they cashing it in? No, they're not. It's been a good group.
Well, they knew they had coverage, and that's the thing. And
Yes,
Melancon was
sir.
going to be a free agent at the end of the season. They weren't going to be able to sign him. They really didn't have any interest in signing because of the guys they already had.
Yeah, you have Watson, you have Feliz, and you have spray paint from the manager.
Ben Hurdle having a good time at Miller Park.
Yeah, he's relaxed.
Not used to it.
And Bastardo strikes out Domingo Santana, and it's all smiles for the Pirates manager as Bastardo sets him down in order. Still 2-1. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. 2-1 Pirates lead the Brewers. We move to the 8th inning here at Miller Park. Carlos Torres now in for the Crew. Let's check out Miller Lite's what's on tap. Cardinals in town tomorrow. Carlos Martinez and Zach Davies your matchup. Wainwright and Peralta on Tuesday. Weaver and Garza on Wednesday. Remember, tomorrow first pitch 6:20. That means our coverage starts tomorrow afternoon at 5:30 right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
As Zach Davies beat the Rockies 7-1 his last time out. We've got to have on the mound against the Redbirds as Keon Broxton takes over in center.
Carlos Torres on the mound here for the Crew. He will face Gregory Polanco to lead things off, and he sends one to center and an early chance for Broxton, and there's out number one.
Torres picked up a loss his last time out. He pitched on Thursday, took the loss, gave up a run in an inning of work.
There's Starling Marte to face Torres. It was frustrating for Torres, no doubt, in that extra inning game when he took that first loss. Andrew McCutchen with an RBI single scored John Jaso for what proved to be the game-winning run. It was a well-played game. 3-2 was the final as Marte sends one deep to center field, and that is gone. Another solo homer, the fourth of the day and the third from the Pirates. It's 3-1 Pittsburgh.
All right, throws a lot of those cut fastballs, and Marte with his third hit today, and that's a big one. Everybody all right out there? Not sure what happened. And Marte with a blast into center field. Let's see if we can see what happens to Keon Broxton. It's that cut fastball, that big wide stance, gives it a ride into center field. Ball hit him.
Yeah.
Came off the back wall and hit him.
There's David Freese. Yeah, in a game like this, that is a big, big run. Keon's still feeling that a little bit.
Yeah. Somewhere in the leg.
Yeah.
Or worse.
Yeah. He needs a fly ball that does not come his way here.
Right. Yeah, he's having a tough time out there. I don't blame him.
Yep. Freese took a pitch to the shoulder his last plate appearance in the sixth. Ball, 2 strikes. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Pirates. A run on just 3 hits for the Brewers. 1-2. Rides upstairs. Signed as a free agent with the Brewers on April 2nd, just before the season began.
Has racked up a lot of appearances here this year. He has been a very dependable reliever, but last couple of times out, giving up runs.
Pirates got him on Thursday, and Starling Marte gets to him this afternoon with a solo homer. And Freese is on with a walk. Polanco a fly to center, a home run from Marte, and now a walk. Francisco Cervelli, the hitter. A fly to right, ground ball to short, and a strikeout for Cervelli this afternoon. The last time the Pirates swept a series against the Brewers here was in 2004. That was a 3-game set. They have never come in here and swept a 4-gamer, but Clint Hurdle's team awfully good on the road. They're feeling pretty good about it.
Look at him.
Yeah, Ian Rodriguez having some fun down there.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen Clint Hurdle have this much fun in the dugout. Something about that that can of Stickum.
Yep.
Something about that.
He's
That's that stuff the guys spray on their batting gloves to get a better grip on the baseball, or I should say the bat. Well, some pitchers use it, get away with it, but it's amusing the Pirates dugout.
He's getting a big old kick out of it. Cervelli, a liner to center. Broxton coming on, 2 outs. And he can still smile about it.
Yeah, fastball down the middle, and Cervelli gives it a good swing, but lines out right to the Keon Broxton. Maybe it's the fact that they're heading to Chicago tonight. I mean, maybe Clint Hurdle enjoys Chicago. Maybe dinner plans.
Yeah, a little time.
Hang out at Ditka's perhaps tonight.
That's a night game tomorrow for the Pirates. So, yeah, go out and enjoy the city a little bit. This team has certainly played well this weekend.
And they've really pitched well. They've scored enough to win, but the pitching has been very good, particularly the bullpen, which is no surprise. It's been that way all season. And he got what he needed out of his starter today, 6 innings.
Ivan Nova continues to pitch very well since the trade from the Yankees to the Pirates. 1-1 here to Jordy Mercer. A little tapper back to Torres, and that'll do it for the Pirates in the 8th, but they pick up some insurance. A Starling Marte solo homer gives the Pirates a 3-1 lead.
Brewers going to bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and you can head to our Fox Sports Wisconsin page at the end of every series for Brewers Final Pitch, powered by Evinrude. Got a recap of the series and a preview of the upcoming opponent as well. Check it out. We'll have that for you after our ball game here. 4 solo home runs in this one, Dave. You don't see that very often, but the Brewers still looking for a little more power here.
Right, exactly. Haven't been able to really generate anything, but you look at those solo home runs, that means the pitchers are limiting the damage, but unfortunately the Brewers on the short end of it right now.
All right, they're going to bat right now. Let's see what they can do against Pittsburgh. Relief pitching here the rest of the way. Brewers Live postgame also coming up after the ball game, Matt.
All right, Craig Davey, thank you very much. This is Felipe Rivero on now for the Pirates. He will face Orlando Arcia. in the bottom of the 8th, and first pitch swinging, a ground ball to Jordy Mercer. 1 out.
Yeah, of all the guys the Pirates have down in that bullpen that have been very good, Rivero might have the best stuff of any of them. I mean, mid-90s with a fastball, good slider. You can see what he's been able to do this year between the Washington Nationals and the Pirates. A 373 earned run average with a bunch of strikeouts. 75 strikeouts in just shy of 63 innings of work.
Yeah, they have club control here with Rivero, and one of the reasons for that move, they like him a lot. As Manny Pena settles in, the website Fangraphs, which a lot of baseball folks very familiar with, but they give you a lot of information on players throughout baseball, and talked about the hardest throwing left-handers, a sharply hit ball to Freeze, and there are 2 men out. Stabbed by Freeze over at third. Getting back to Rivero, going back to the hardest throwing lefties last year. He was in that group of 4, top 4. He can bring it.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Pena really turned on that fastball that time. That was a nice pick by Freeze. On the backhand, able to keep it in the glove. Well, he's called it the hot corner. I'm going to use the old cliche. I said hot corner.
That works.
But there's a good example of it. That's a nice play by the Pirate third baseman.
That's why that cliche exists, right?
Yeah.
That very play.
Don't have any time really to react. It's just all instincts.
There's Jake Elmore. A little pinch hit here with 2 outs and the bases empty. Group of 4 with the hardest throwing lefties last year. Rivero in that group, along with, of course, Aroldis Chapman, Jake Diekman, Zach Britton. Pirates like this guy a lot, with reason.
Yeah, left-handers that throw, 95, 96 miles an hour, they don't fall from the trees. They are tough to find. I mean, and normally they're more controlled guys with the good sliders. Bastardo, who just came in the ball game. I mean, he's a 92-mile-an-hour fastball pitcher, but he still is able to get his strikeouts. Well, this guy can flat out bring it. He can throw it right by, even in a fastball count.
And they made that. Bastardo got through the inning so quickly in there that they got him in the John Neese trade, sending him back to the Mets. And Elmore goes the other way down the line, a base hit. Polanco over there to retrieve, and there is a 2-out single from Jake Elmore, so the inning will extend. The tying run comes to the plate.
That's the way you hit guys that throw hard. You just kind of shorten up. You let his pitches provide your power. That's a good pitch. Look at it. 5 was right on the outside corner. Just kind of flicks the bat out there and gets to be inside that first baseline. So the tying run coming to the plate for Milwaukee.
Jonathan Villar has given the Brewers their only run of the day. Solo shot in the 3rd inning. He hits well from the right side. Hits well, period, but 321 from the right side. And there's a liner to center, and McCutchen is right there. And that'll do it for the Brewers in the 8th. They leave a man on base. It's still 3-1 Pittsburgh. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casinos. Spend the nights with luxury. Move to the 9th inning. Nothing but solo homers today. The bad news for the Brewers, the Pirates have hit 3 of them. 3-1 the score heading to the 9th inning. Rob Scahill on in relief here for the Crew.
Now, he started the season with the Pirates. A 24th appearance for Scahill and a .432 earned run average. Scahill last pitched on Friday, 2/3 of an inning scoreless. He came to the Brewers from these Pirates on July 12th.
We'll face Sean Rodriguez here to begin the 9th inning.
Got him on the 12th, sent him down to the minor leagues, and got recalled on August 8th.
Ground ball into the shift. That's Scooter Gennett. And there's out number 1 in the 9th.
They have live broadcast, scoring updates, breaking news, and more right at your fingertips with MLB.com at bat. The official app of the Brewers. Download at bat today, free for your smartphone or tablet, or both if you have both.
There you go. Cover it all.
I do.
So do I. It's our lifeline right now, right?
Yeah.
What did we do before all of this?
Just call the game.
Yeah. It worked well.
They didn't have StatCast and all that stuff back then.
No.
Before the iPad and iPhone and all the other Android devices that give you all this fancy information.
Yeah, we misplaced that or something goes wrong with it. We're in a world of hurt now.
Back in the Red Barber days. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, though.
No. Josh Harrison stepping in here for the Pirates. We'll pass along an injury note here regarding the Pittsburgh Pirates. Talked about that starting rotation and what they've had to deal with. Garrett Cole already is going to have his turn missed tomorrow as they take a further look at his elbow. But now Clint Hurdle has some reason for that expression if he's thinking about Ivan Nova. He pitched so well today, but Nova has some left hamstring discomfort. It's the word from the Pirates.
Why they took him out, his pitch count was in pretty good shape.
Nova went 6 innings, gave up 3 hits and just the 1 run. The solo homer off the bat of Jonathan Villar. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Harrison. And he struck him out. Rob Scahill, the former Pirate. 2 up, 2 down here in the 9th.
Yeah, tough day at the office for Josh Harrison. He did walk in the 7th, but other than that, an 0 for 4, a couple of punch outs.
Pitching well against his former team here again, and now he will deal with pinch hitter Josh Bell. Pinch hitting for John Jaso. And Bell going after the first pitch. Little chopper over the mound. Gennett, bare hand pick, but cannot finish the play as Bell is on. That'll be an infield single.
Right over his head, and with the shift, you figured that was going to be a very difficult play for Scooter Gennett. Just not able to get much on the throw. And that keeps the inning alive.
Two outs. Good effort, but that was nearly impossible play there. So Bell is on. And Andrew McCutchen is at the plate. McCutchen with a 4th inning single to right. That's what he's done in 4 trips here this afternoon. Nice stab right there. That's why you bring the glove. Bell, the runner at first with 2 outs. And it's quickly 0-2 to McCutchen. McCutchen with 7 hits here in this 4-game series. And swung on and missed. Scahill with a couple of strikeouts here in the 9th. So it's a 2-run game. And their closer, Tony Watson, is getting ready. Bottom of the 9th here at Miller Park. Down 2 as we move to the home half of the 9th inning. Drew trying to avoid a 4-game sweep. A rough go this weekend, and now the Pirates closer, Tony Watson, trying to finish it up.
Yeah, picked up save number 9 on Friday night here in Milwaukee. He's been very good on the road this year. He's only allowed 4 runs in 25 innings away from PNC Park. That's a 144 earned run average. Overall, 9 out of 12 and a 262 earned run average for the hard-throwing left-hander, Tony Watson.
And he's going to face Ryan Braun here as Craig Counsell going to his bench. Ryan Braun in a pinch hitting role. See if the Brewers can get a rally here. This is the 4th pinch hit at bat this year for Braun. Let's check out that Powerball home run leaderboard. You see Brawny with 24. He's had a terrific month of August. Chris Carter leads the way with 30. Perez and Neuenhuis 13 and 12 respectively. Braun with a chopper over to first. That's Rodriguez, and he'll feed Watson for out number 1. As we talked about, the Pirates, when they made the move for Melanson, they had options. Since taking over, so you see the overall numbers, 9 out of 12, but Watson 9 of 10 in save opportunities since becoming the full-time closer. One away here in the 9th inning.
And when he's not available, you got enough Tally Fleas who closed the game out last night. So they have multiple options down in that bullpen. Not often that a team that is in playoff contention would let their closer go, but you know, they had coverage.
Perez out in front, and he's down 2 strikes and nothing.
By the way, good job this year. This is it for you.
That's right.
Well done.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Had fun.
Nice job.
It's always great working with you and everybody involved in the Fox Sports Wisconsin crew. Big thanks to the Brewers.
Good
For
luck
some
with
reason asking me to do this stuff, so it's good.
Good luck with football, basketball. And
yeah, I look forward to it. LSU 6 days away. Good luck to your Clemson Tigers, the Fighting Dabos.
Yeah, I'm going down there in October.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
So yeah, good job.
I enjoyed it. Perez, a swing and a miss, and the Brewers are now down to their final out. BA back tomorrow. Craig Deshawn, well, the most versatile broadcaster in the state. Craig will be working with Rock next weekend in Pittsburgh when these teams meet again. See each other very quickly.
Yeah.
BA back for a few days just to abuse Rock and then step away again.
I think it might be the other way around tomorrow.
You're going to go.
He's going to be coming in from LA tonight. My guess is he's going to be a little bit tuckered out, and I'm going to put the pressure on him. He's going to be doing a lot of work tomorrow.
I'll be tuning in to see a little counter punch. And there's Craig and Davey right there getting ready for Brewers Live postgame. They're ready to roll. Craig going through his pre-show warm-up. 0-2 to Chris Carter. He has a 20-game streak of reaching safely. It is on the line right now, and he is down 0-2 to Tony Watson. Three fly balls, all to center field this afternoon for Carter. Watson with a 1-2 and a broken bat, base hit to left. The streak is alive for Carter. He has reached safely in 21 straight.
Yep, final at bat on the 1-2 count. Got a fastball and muscles it into left field. More importantly than the streak, the Brewers now bring the tying run to the plate. Fastball in, breaks his bat, but able to get the base hit, keep the game alive.
Well, let's see what happens. Brewers still punching. Here's Keon Broxton. He has pop in his bat. He's gone deep 6 times this year. And he takes a strike from Watson. Count is even, 1-1. Broxton 0 for 1, a strikeout in the 7th inning. Scoops him back there. 2 balls, 1 strike.
This would be the count right here. You figure a fastball's coming. Yeah, get one middle away and try and drive one out of here.
Cisco Cervelli ready to hang the sign. Watson has surrendered 5 home runs this year, and a swing and a miss there.
And with a changeup. That's just good pitching right there and a fastball count.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And Broxton's going to see another one right here. And it ends the game. Back-to-back changeups from Watson, and Broxton goes down swinging, and the Pirates sweep this 4-game series at Miller Park. Home run power today. 3 solo shots from the Pirates, including one from Starling Marte, Gregory Polanco as well, as the Pirates win it here this afternoon 3-1. Let's send it down to Craig Deshawn standing by for Brewers Live postgame.
Okay, Matt, boy, who saw this coming just a few days ago? The Brewers sweep Colorado and then get swept in 4 by the Pirates. We'll hear from Craig Counsell and get you set for the Cardinals series, which starts tomorrow next on Brewers Live.
We play the game and